The journey of Squid Game has been pretty interesting to watch. Like, I feel like we all can agree, season one, great television, classic. Season two, in my opinion at least, trash. Season three, somewhere in the middle. I have so many thoughts on this season. We are talking spoilers, so if you have not watched this season yet, come back later. So Squid Game has been a very interesting series. It came out of nowhere with season one of the most popular shows in Netflix history. I think it was at the time the most popular show in Netflix history. Season one was extremely fresh. It was creative. It had so many classic characters, classic moments, red light, green light. I don't remember exactly what the game is called, but the game where they had to cut the shapes out of the cookies, tug of war, marbles, bro, marbles messed me up the first time that I saw that. My favorite player of season one was 456's best friend. I forgot his name and number, but he was the only one that had common sense in my opinion. But the way he did my man Ali, the Indian dude, dirty, that really messed me up. Season two just didn't really work for me. Like, I don't remember exactly how I felt about everything because I did a whole review. You can watch that as well on my channel. I don't remember every single thing that happened in that season, but I just didn't like it. It seemed like they were trying to recapture some of the magic, like them allowing the front man, the guy with the black mask, to join the game. We already saw that in season one with the old guy. Red light, green light is classic, and I get that's a good opening game because you can kill a lot of people. We already saw that. They try to make you care about the whole mother and son dynamic, but if you're a crazy person like me, you watch the reality show that they did, they already had that storyline on that show. It's just a lot of the things that they tried to do, they tried to rinse and repeat the things that we loved in the first season, and then they try to throw in some extra stuff. Like, why do we have a pregnant woman, who I'm going to talk about more in a second, why do we have a pregnant woman involved in this game? I don't know if season two was just so bad for me that I think season three is that much better, but it was a pretty solid season. It wasn't as great. Nothing is going to be able to top the first season, but it also wasn't as bad as the second one. And the thing with this season is they have so many plot points going on that it really comes down to, do you care about these people or not? And I don't. The mother and son dynamic, I don't care about. The crazy witch lady, I don't care about. I hated Thanos in the season two. But when it comes to the players that were involved in these games, the only players that I liked was 456. And I'm not really woke. I'm not one of those people, but the transgender character, she was catching bodies. I have a lot that I can say and that I can complain about with this show, but let's just start with some of the things that I do like. I actually really enjoyed, I feel like, all the games that they introduced this season. Season two, I feel like they didn't even really get to do anything. I feel like we didn't even really get to see any games. We saw red light, green light, which we already saw in season one. They were able to kill each other in the living quarters. Again, we already saw that in season one. The relay race pissed me off so much. That game was so terrible and stupid to me. Oh, the merry-go-round, I almost forgot about the merry-go-round. That was pretty good. But in this season, the hide and seek game was really intense. I actually really enjoyed the jump rope game, even though when I first saw it, I rolled my eyes because I was like, great, another bridge game. But I thought that game was pretty good. And then the very final game where they were on top of the big shapes and they were playing, they had to push a player off or eliminate a player. Again, I thought that was really cool. The hide and seek game, man, that really messed me up. Like, it was a lot of important moments throughout this game. Like, we got a lot of character development from player 333, I believe that was his number. He was the baby daddy to the girl that was pregnant. The old guy, I think he was number 100. God, I couldn't wait for that dude to die. He got the random person killed that he was rolling with, and he pretty much got the witch woman, the woman that claimed she had superpowers. He's pretty much the reason that she got killed too, because he shut the door behind her. And then the part that killed me the most, like I said, one of the other characters that I liked in this show was the transgender character, because she was catching bodies. Like, I loved, there was one scene where like she had blood all over her and one dude in the red vest came, looked at her and was like, nah, I'm good. And he just kept walking. Because we get the team up between the transgender character, the mother, the older mother, and the pregnant woman. Which, this is the worst combination of people. Not only are you pregnant, but you fracture your ankle. And on top of that, you start giving birth during the middle of this game. So her baby daddy, player 333, he's going around, he's killing people, he's trying to find her so he can make sure that she's okay. She has this baby, the transgender character has to fight off somebody else, and then of course, she finds the exit. And then of course, she dies. That kill was kind of hard for me to watch, man. I was so pissed off that he killed her. So after she dies, the two mothers, they go to try to find the exit, and then the older mother, she finds her son. The son wants to kill the girl that just had the baby, and then ultimately the mother stabs her own son in the back and she kills him, essentially. That didn't really impact me at all. I feel like that was supposed to be their like marbles moment, where what happened with Ali in season one. didn't really hit the same. And that's the thing, some of the moments that I feel like if this was the very first season and I saw some of these things, it would have impacted me more. But I feel like I already saw a lot of the beats that they were going for with the show in season 1 and done much better. Like once we got to the jump rope game, oh, and I almost forgot, the mother killed herself. I didn't like that part. But the jump rope game, I actually really liked that game because I did like the glass floors in season 1, but everything about that game pissed me off because it was really kind of stupid when you think about it and not fair. You're supposed to blindly jump on these glass panels and just hope that it doesn't break. One, that's really stupid and scary. I hate heights. But two, once they actually beat the game, they blew up the bridge and they blew up the glass panels, and that's when the glass pierced the one player and she ended up dying later because of that. But it was a great moment because that was the first time we saw that. But I actually feel like the giant rope was probably a much better version of it because at least you had a chance. I guess you could say that the game itself is too easy. I'm trying to think of what else I like. I like the final game, and that final game was really intense to me. Like when they were trying to make it simple, like, oh, all you got to do is just vote somebody out. This is Squid Game. You know it's not going to be that simple. It wasn't as tense as the season 1 finale because those two players, they actually had history. But the ending overall, like with all the people turning on each other, I thought that was pretty good. And when it comes to that final game, I was really rocking with it up until the very end because they do something that I hate in all movies and all TV shows. It's nothing against Squid Games, but I hate when TV shows and movies do this all the time. When a person is hanging from the cliff with one hand and then they're holding on to somebody and it's kind of like, hold on, hold my hand. I hate that. I always hate that. As soon as I saw them both fall off the edge of that building, that tower, whatever you want to call it, as soon as I saw him hanging on one hand, I rolled my eyes. I even like the fact that player 456 died. Like maybe I'm twisted in the brain. I say this on some of my other reviews. I hate when everything is like a happy ending. So it was kind of cool to see, oh, the head guy, he technically won, but he died. So I like that part. Like that whole scene of that whole final game up until the very end, I thought was really well done. It's just so much else about this season that I just did not care about. Like the whole plot line of player 11. Why do I care about her? They introduced this random amusement park at the beginning of season 2. We see these random characters and then we find out that that's the reason why she's trying to get with this one dude because they work together. I just didn't care. And like this plot line had so much screen time. I feel like they were focusing on this plot more than the detective on the boat. And I just didn't care. We get to see the whole them selling organs thing again. She goes down so she can see the operating room where they're taking the organs, and she kills all the people except the doctor. And she says, you're gonna do a blood transfusion. He's like, well, what type of blood do you have? Well, can you ever guess? Of course, she's a type O blood. I just did not care about this whole plot line. And then her going to destroy the records and then her fighting the security guard. Like that whole scene, that was pretty cool. But overall, I don't care. Now let's talk about this baby. This baby, I hated this plot line so much. They made this baby such a big part of the ending, and it felt like because they didn't really have anything else to do to get us from point A to point B. Like what type of logic is, oh, we're gonna make this baby player 222? That was so stupid to me. If anything, I thought they would have tried to take the baby and then raise the baby to be one of them, like the security Squid Game people. I hated the baby, but they needed the baby at the end of the final game so they would have an excuse for the players not to just jump player 456 because they didn't want to kill him and the baby at the same time because of the rules of the game. I get it. I hated the baby. And then on top of that, they used a CGI baby. It looked terrible, and they had so many tight shots of this CGI ugly looking baby. Like they ain't nobody on the set have a newborn. I don't know if the rules over in Korea is different from actors in like America, but we have babies all the time in our stuff. They couldn't have just found a baby as a standby just to be for the tight shots. Like they could have close-ups of a real baby. It looked so stupid. And then with the logic of this season, it was so stupid. And I guess you could say that's a part of the game. They're purposely being twisted and doing these things. But the players wanted to team up and kill the baby once they found out that the baby was going to technically be player 222. They thought they were going to get a split between 8 people, but it's actually 9 people because of the baby. They were going to kill the baby, and then the guard stopped them because all of a sudden they said, players are no longer allowed to kill the other competitors. And then I don't remember if it was the same exact episode or if maybe it was the next episode, but a little bit later, the front man had to sit down with player 456, gave him a knife and said, yo, kill all the competitors and you win. You and the baby will be perfectly fine if you just kill the other players in their sleep. No other players can kill anybody else outside of the competition. But for you, player 456, because you're the main character, I'm going to give you a knife and let you kill these other players. And then you have to remember too, during this meeting, he told him, if you kill all the players, you will win, because you can't play the game with you can't play the final game with only 2 players. Now follow me. We get to the final game. The guy falls off after he was holding on to player 456's jacket or suit jacket, whatever. It's only 2 players left, and they say it can only be 1 winner. Maybe I'm tripping. I was watching this really late at night, not much sleep. Maybe I'm tripping, but to me, again, that was really stupid. Player 456 ends up killing himself. He kills himself in the middle of his speech. Again, I don't know if I'm tripping. He said, we're not horses, we're humans. And he was about to say something else, and then he just fell off. Then the Coast Guard comes, front man, he all evacuates everybody. He blows up the island, everybody leaves. And then we get back to their normal life 6 months later. So the front man gives the baby to his brother, the detective, and he gives him a gold card, which has all the money on it. 45.6 billion won. If my memory's correct, I think that's like 30 something million in America. And then at the very end, the front man goes to Los Angeles and he finds 456's daughter, gives her a gift box and said, this is from your father. It has his tracksuit and it has a card, which I'm gonna also assume had a bunch of billion wons on it. And then at the very end, we get the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We get the Squid Game universe. The front man is leaving the house and he's driving around to LA. He looks into an alley. He sees a white woman, Kate Blanchett, I think is her name. Especially if you're American, you know her face, you know who she is. But she's doing the same exact game, which I feel like in America they should have just did a different game. I had never heard of this game before until I watched Squid Game season 1. But she's in the alley. She's playing with some homeless dude or something like that for a game, and basically that's hinting at season of Squid Games in America, which has been a long rumored thing. I think they're about to start filming in December, but we're getting an American version of Squid Game, I guess. Do I need an American version of Squid Game? No, but am I gonna watch it? Sure. I'm gonna use the YouTube excuse to say I'm gonna do it for content purposes. I don't really care for it. I'm kind of Squid Game out. I wish they would have just done a one and done season. Squid Game season 3, while not perfect, I do feel like it was a solid season. There was a lot of things that I liked and disliked about this show, but I'm just glad that this is over with. The games I thought were really interesting. This is gonna sound messed up, but I'm actually happy player 456 died in the end. I love the final game up until the point that it was like, hold on, hold my hand. I hate that stuff, but overall, I mean, I thought it was a solid season. A lot of stuff that I don't like, the security guard number 11, I don't care about her. The baby I thought was completely stupid. I feel like in the writer's room, they were like, what's something that we can do that's extreme, that's really gonna get the people going? I hated that. I thought that was stupid. But Squid Game is what it is. If this is the end of the Korean show, I'm glad that it's over with. At least with the American show, I don't know how much better it'll be. I don't know how they'll be able to top especially season 1, but maybe because it's in America, it could be something fresh and new. We still have to wait and see. Season 1 of Squid Game is excellent television, classic. It's still a great watch. Like, I hated season 2 so much that once I was finished with season 2, I went back to watch season 1 again. Still great, but I am curious what they'll do with the American version. So with that, we just have to wait and see. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new here. We talk about a bunch of different things on this channel. What are your thoughts on this season? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you like me? Are you kind of just glad that this saga of the Korean Squid Game is over with? And are you looking forward to the American version? Let me know in the comment section below. Love you guys. As always, remember to tell somebody that you love them. Until next time, see you in the next life.